there's higher weight for precision, okay, versus compression. There's low compression, high precision here for the autistic phenotype, which is in reverse of the so-called normals, the so-called people that don't have this rate of information coming in with the sensory processing and the heightened awareness, the heightened intensity of these higher gamma waves, these early regions being blasted. For the normals, the typicals or whatever, there is this generalization of sensory information coming in. They just compress it into this generalization or a gist, just to send it on, which is very opposite of the autistic phenotype, where there's a lot of detail and getting stuck. The autistic phenotype has a tendency to get stuck and just pay attention to very precise details of the environment. But that is a strength for learning. I've been on this kick about how autistic phenotypes and the biology that gives us autism allows us to have this accelerated learning. Small differences in the environment, though, can be picked out. It's noticed by the autistic phenotype. That's a lot of pattern recognition here. Learning can become so exceptionally fast and stable because I've also talked about, especially in the visual thinking episodes, that there's a lot of databases being built, different catalogs for different categories. Okay, remember the episode, there's 2 episodes on visual thinking alone, and one is talking a little bit about weak central coherence, which is kind of machine learning. Before AI and machine learning, there was the autistic phenotype's brain. That's the original AI. So after the body, the brain is understanding what kind of state it's in to make these decisions, the medial part of the orbital frontal cortex is coming on board, okay? Now, if the orbital frontal cortex is here, the medial orbital is more in the middle, more closer to this midline. And that's right behind here, okay? So it's right behind the orbital. So it's also up here though, just right on the other side of the eyebrows. And this is reward. This is going to help signal what is rewarding. This current experience that I'm in for this specific living organism in the specific time, that will determine how much this reward, potential reward, is from the environment, or if it's learning a task, learning a topic or subject. How good does this feel to me right now? If state inference is less socially compressed, social reward may be automatically, it might dominate the valuation. So this reward little hub with the medial or orbital frontal cortex, value may depend more on internal structure than the external. Okay, for the autistic phenotype, value, we're getting into value because reward is a component that will equal value. For the autistic phenotype, value is not external. External is too chaotic. Remember, because of this rate of information with the sensory processing. Value for the autistic phenotype is typically internal. And this is part of this deep engagement with these certain domains that you can kind of subject and identify the autistic phenotype gets into versus the so-called typicals.